Welcome, everybody. Joe Tarnowski here with ECRM, and I have with me the restaurant coach, Donald Burns, who's the author of 3 books, Your Restaurant Sucks, Your Restaurant Still Sucks, and Your Restaurant Culture Sucks, which is available for pre-order right now on Amazon. Yes. Don actually moderated one of the food service roundtables today at our food service virtual session. So we're going to discuss some takeaways from that discussion. So Don, thank you for joining us. And to start, can you just tell us the topic of your roundtable?
So today's topic was about basically pivoting. How do you pivot, and how do you help your clients kind of adjust? You know, everyone right now is in a lot of fear, because it's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when things are going to end. We don't know when, are things going to get back to normal. And depending on where you are in the country, normal is a lot different in some places than others. I mean, New York's a little bit different than, like, I have clients in South Dakota, they're 100% open. Florida, 100% open. Chicago just shut down again. I know they're talking about in New York shutting things back down. So how can you be there for people without being, pushy? Without having, and I know people right now are, again, uncertainty breeds things like, I don't want to buy a lot, or I don't want to do this. But how can you be a support system for your clients, for restaurants, as a vendor, and still maintain a relationship? And that's what really we talked about today, basically, is how can I help them basically feel better about what's going on? Not 100% better, because that's like impossible, but how can I make them feel better? And then when I'm helping them feel better and helping give them ideas and solutions, suggestions, it creates a positive interaction and a positive kind of reinforcement about my brand also, which is what this is all about.
Yep. And it's interesting you mentioned that before, like it varies from place to place. Even within New York, you have Manhattan, which some areas are just dead, where they depended on business. You have an area like my neighborhood in Astoria, Queens, which is thriving. Maybe not thriving. But some places are doing exceptionally well, with the outdoor dining setups, and everybody from other boroughs are coming to Queens to hang out. So your roundtable was made up of primarily vendors, correct?
Yes, primary vendors today. I had some great ones on there too. A lot of them actually are brands I've recognized. I was like, oh my God, it's really cool to see people behind the brands and stuff like that. But that's something you got to think about too. A lot of times we see these big brands, Lakeland, a lot of these big snack companies, a lot of these dairy companies, a lot of these bread companies, but we don't really put a person behind it. A lot of times you might be reaching out by email, or you might be even doing a phone call. What's better than this? Yeah. Getting on a video. And I talked about a really cool app out there called Bonjoro. I can't remember the name of it exactly. Let me see. I got it right here. Bonjoro, Bonjoro. And it's a way that you can use email and you attach a little video to it.
Okay.
And you're just making yourself personable, saying, hey, listen, I know you're not ready to buy right now, but it doesn't mean I don't want to help you. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about different solutions and different things. Well, probably one of the biggest things restaurants miss out on, and I've asked this question, I've spoke all over the world. I've always asked audiences all around the world the same question. How many restaurants in here know the cost of everything on their menu down to the penny? And I'm always shocked. 2-3% raise their hand. Doesn't matter how big the audience is. So, and I tell people this a lot. Coronavirus is not your fault, but how you ran your restaurant before is. So if there's some things that you did before that maybe you knew that you should have done that you didn't do, now's the time to start taking the opportunity to get on top of those things. One of those things is your food cost. Most vendors out there have people that have culinary backgrounds or have access to people who have culinary backgrounds. This is like the perfect opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I can help you cost out your menu. I can help you kind of get your cost dialed in. Offer up some services that maybe you don't really necessarily offer all year round, but now might be the perfect time to expand your services that you're offering, to make a goodwill gesture and saying, listen, I'm willing to help you now, but not expecting anything out of it, but just saying, I'm willing to help you now because you know what? That's going to come back on me. That's good karma.
Definitely. I'm a big believer in that. And
me too, man. Huge.
When I peeked into your conversation that you were having, you also were giving some good examples of and discussing some examples of what suppliers are doing to kind of help the operators in that vein.
Yeah, there's tons of things you do. Most vendors work with broad service food distributors. So, partnering up with them and saying, hey, listen, I'm willing to help you guys out. Maybe I could do a demo, or maybe I can give you some recipes, some things that could help people out. But working with your network too, not necessarily working, directly to like maybe restaurants, but maybe working with a broadline food service distributor like Cisco, US Foods, Shamrock Foods out in the West, Performance Food Group, something like that. Working with them and saying, hey, listen, hey, maybe we could do a virtual event together. And maybe I can help you pull together like 4 or 5 restaurant experts, and we could talk about some really cool solutions and stuff like that. And maybe we have this little thing called a challenge, a 3-day, 5-day restaurant challenge sponsored by, and we would help you guys put that together. I mean, that is a great way to build, number one, good faith. And number two, you're actually really helping people. At least we forget we're in the service industry. And we're here to help people. We're here to serve people. And, if we don't do what we're meant to do, our calling is, it kind of feels like you're empty and you kind of feel like you've lost your place. And, whether you're selling anything, you always got to kind of go back to why you do what you do. And when you connect back to why you do it, I tell you, it will make your heart sing and you'll feel a little bit better about what's going on around you.
So it sounds like, overall, you guys have discussed, different ways of finding those opportunities within these challenging times.
There's tons of stuff. Yeah. Tons of stuff you can offer people. You just got to really just get creative. And then, a lot of times get creative with networking with some of the other people in your group. ECRM is a great opportunity for restaurants and also vendors and everybody to work together. I mean, you have such a huge network. People would be really not too bright if you didn't take advantage of ECRM's network and use the resources that you have, because you guys are connected with me. People can reach out to me and say, hey, Donald, I was at the ECRM kind of conference and stuff like that. I saw your thing. I've already had people that was on my session this morning already reach out and connect with me on like Instagram and LinkedIn and already send me messages. I've already responded back. Hey, whatever I can do to help you.
That's a good point. And, maybe that's something we could do down the road using the lounge. We have that lounge on a platform where more than 10 people can get together and discuss something. So, that's actually a good idea for us. Maybe we could pursue that for one of the future sessions.
Right now, I think the biggest thing everyone feels is they feel is they're all going it alone. And the biggest thing you can do out there is just let people know, hey, you know what? You're not alone. There are other restaurants out there that are actually, like you and I talked about, there are restaurants out there doing well. There are vendors out there doing well. There are things that are moving along in the right direction. We have to focus on that, and we have to help each other and just be there for each other, because that's what community is all about. And whether, and right now it's a global community. I mean, especially with the internet and with Zoom and stuff like that. I mean, you're in New York, I'm in New Mexico. Here we are having a conversation. This is like awesome stuff.
Yep. It's definitely changed the game, and it's given us a whole new outlook on the potential of virtual for this industry, for retail and for food service. So,
and the restaurants have done really well are the ones that have embraced technology. So as vendors and distributors, you need to embrace technology too.
Excellent. Well, great point to wrap it up on. So, Don, thanks again for moderating, and I look forward to doing some more stuff with you.
Awesome. I'll send you a new book as soon as it comes out.
Please do. Cool. And then we'll discuss it afterwards.
Perfect.
All right, take care.